What's up, YouTube? It's your boy, Paulus Harris, aka the Environmental Terrorist, coming at y'all once again, live and correct. The title or the subject of what I'm going to talk about today is my thoughts on so-called Black History Month that's coming up here quite shortly in February. If you go on my Facebook page and actually really look at some of the previous shows that I've actually really done on this subject, but before y'all do that, just know that I don't go by Paulus Harris on my Facebook. I go by Curtis Harris. But the thing about it though, you see my face, then goddamn it, you'll know it's me. So, but the thing about it though is that, you know, February, so-called Black History Month, and for the most part, it's always the same people: Marcus Garvey, Dr. King, Malcolm X, Jesse Jackson, Al Sharpton, Minister Farrakhan, and probably, as of late, former President Barack Obama, which a lot of y'all want to sit up there and say, hey, he's the first black president. And I look at that shit and I laugh my motherfucking ass off, because he is not the first black president, nor is he the first African American president. Again, environmental terrorists, where the motherfuckers, right, that control the environment will actually have you believe that Barack Obama was the first African American president, when 9 times out of 10, that wasn't the case. Right? You know, African American, black, however you want to say it, right? He wasn't the first. You know, and if you don't believe me, then hey, Google is a motherfucker. Right? So my whole deal with this, I mean, depending on who's actually really gonna watch this particular show, and after actually really watching this show or whatever, I'll probably be like the biggest coon ever. But then again, I actually really did a show on that, as far as like, okay, well, motherfucker, who died and left you in charge, as far as like who to call a coon and who not. But my thing is this: who's the bigger coon here? Because my deal is this: I can actually really think of something a hell of a lot worse than a goddamn coon, and that, my friends, is being a goddamn copycat. Because here's the deal: some white person called a black person a coon long time ago, and they said it so much that you copied that shit, and so now you want to go around and and just because some so-called black person doesn't fit the description of what you think a so-called black person should be, right? Then you want to call them a coon. But the whole thing about so-called being black, so-called being African American, a lot of that shit is nothing but matter of opinion. And I said this once before. I mean, hanging out on the corner or hanging out at the liquor store right? Drinking, living off of your woman or whatever. That don't make you no true black man, right? That just, you just old trifling motherfucker for the most part. But I'm actually really getting off a subject here. Because the whole deal about it, if you look at all of the people that they gonna talk about, they gonna talk about Marcus Garvey, they gonna talk about Dr. King, they gonna talk about Malcolm X, they gonna talk about motherfucking Jesse Jackson, Al Sharpton. They're going to talk about Minister Farrakhan. They're going to talk about Barack Obama, which I said earlier, and a whole group of folks. But let's actually really break these people down for a minute. Marcus Garvey being for one. Marcus Garvey wanted to take everybody back to Africa, knowing damn well everybody black ain't from Africa. Right? And then you have Dr. King. He want to have a dream and not be nonviolent. So this motherfucker was asleep the whole time that he was talking. Then you got Jesse Jackson want the Rainbow Coalition, and we all know what the fuck, who done took the action like Rainbow and what the fuck they done did with it, right? Then you got Al Sharpton. You know, whether that he was an agent at one time or still is, I don't know, really don't care, but you can actually put him in that goddamn pot. Then you got the brother minister, right? He up there in Chicago with goddamn Oprah, right? Two powerful people, right? Two powerful motherfuckers, right? One guy's one has a television show, one has a television station, and one can actually really put the message out there. How come these two people ain't got together and actually really try to broadcast the real shit? But a lot of you people, y'all want to follow Oprah, y'all want to follow the brother minister. Hey, I ain't got no problem with that. Go ahead and follow these two motherfuckers and see how far they get you. Right? Then, I already talked about him earlier. The former president. Y'all want to say he's the first, when knowing damn well he ain't the first. Again, environmental terrorists, people. And y'all ignorant bastards are too... I don't know what... I mean... I'm not gonna say that y'all ignorant or for the most, I really don't know what the fuck is wrong with y'all. I mean, but the thing about it though is this. Anybody that do any type of doggone project for Black History Month next month, you motherfuckers need to be shot. Like really. Because it's just for the simple fact that okay, you want to accept the month of February as Black History Month. You know, when you should be learning about the shit every chance you get. But the thing about it though is this. They might want to actually really change the title. Which, for the most part, I really don't know what title you're going to change it to because, like I say, ain't none of us black, and then a lot of us ain't African either. So, now honestly, no, you can't even say we, I wouldn't even want to put Native American on that because you might have been native to the land, but you ain't Americans. So actually, don't. So again, I've talked about this. Don't motherfucker put a goddamn stamp on me that, for the most part, that actually really don't identify me. That's just how I look. This is how I'm looking at this shit, people. So hey, if you watch the show, fine. If you leave a comment below, still fine. You want to call me a coon? Hey, look. just make sure that you actually like listen or watch all of this show before you actually really make that choice. Because just like I say, right? You might call me a coon, but your bitch ass is a goddamn copycat. You can't even come up with your own original shit. And that goes for calling me dumbass, ignorant ass, old ass, whatever kind of ass that you actually really want to call me, right? Stop being a goddamn copycat. Come up with something motherfucking original before you even say any doggone negative bullshit on this particular post. I'm just telling you right now. If you can't come up with nothing original, shut the fuck up and color. Like really. And no, that is not an original piece. But I'm not the one out here that's gonna actually probably 9 times be calling me a coon. So it is what it is, people. So if you want to continue to celebrate your Black History Month and let these motherfuckers actually really dictate how you want to motherfucking celebrate Black History Month and who you actually really going to celebrate as far as Black History Month, then yeah. Coon, copycat, whatever the fuck you want to call yourself, that's what the fuck you are. So, that being said, this is Apollos Harris, aka the Environmental Terrorist, and I'm out.